Yeah, this is the life. Cup of tea, Saturday night, and chillaxing. The fuck? The fuck is going on? That little motherfucker got out of his enclosure again. Every fucking time. Hey guys, welcome to the Trash Picture Show. I am fucking delighted. Do you want to know why? Because I've been tagged in a tag of one of my favourite franchises ever. Yes, Sean Patrick Erschens has done the Facehugger Alien franchise tag, and by Christ, I'm going to do it. He has 13 awesome fucking questions that I intend answering, and I'm going to tag some of my mates at the end. So let's get rolling on this tag. The first question is, which is your favourite Ripley moment? I was originally going to pick a scene from Aliens that was in the extended cut where she finds out about her daughter's death, but I don't think many people have seen the extended cut. I know it's the kind of normal cut you can get now, but I think a lot of people have just seen the theatrical version of Aliens, so I don't know if that one counts. So I'm going to pick up a scene, one of my favorite scenes, where Ripley kind of decides she's going back to save Newt, because it's a moment. It's a very kind of cathartic kind of moment for the character, where she has lost so much, and she has kind of decided, no, I'm not letting this creature, these monsters, wreck my life anymore and take one thing that I have found joy in a kind of recent time span, which is Newt. She's, if again, as I was saying, she lost her own daughter. That's kind of pushed to the side in the theatrical version, but the prospect of losing Newt just kind of she pulls herself together and decides no more. So the scene where she's just packing arms and ammo and flares and grenades into the bag, where she's duct taping the incinerator unit and the pulse rifle together, and like even Bishop is like, look, in 25 minutes this area is going to be a cloud of vapor the size of Nebraska, as he says, and she's like, no, there's no fucking talking her out of it. But the coolest moment for me is she enters the lift and she's still fucking arming up. She's still kind of putting pouches and arms and grenades and flares and things. But the minute that door opens, that's no longer the Ripley that we know. That's not the Ripley from the first movie. That's not the Ripley from the first 3/4 of this movie. She has changed. She has made a conscientious decision to say, no more. I'm not going to let these creatures fucking destroy my life and quench the one last good thing I have. I am literally going to rescue Newt from the jaws of death and face my fears. She decides not to let her fears control her. She's going to go after her fears. She's going to go after literally the mother of her nightmares. So yeah, my favorite scene would be Ripley arming up and getting ready to rescue Newt from Aliens. Second question, what is your favourite Sigourney Weaver performance? That's a bastard hard question, because even like with the degradation of quality in the movies, Sigourney Weaver has always kind of had a fantastic kind of aura throughout the movies. But I definitely think Aliens. I'm going to go with Aliens again, because she was nominated for an Oscar, so that should speak volumes. But there's so much emotion conveyed in Ripley. People could argue that Alien 3, she's a lot more kind of distant, because she's in such a shitty situation, so she isn't as kind of emotive, or she doesn't go through so many emotional arcs. In Aliens, she goes through so many fucking emotional arcs. Hence my answer for the last question. Like, she basically, she finds out, if you're watching the extended edition, she finds out about the death of her daughter, which, again, that scene is harrowing. She's kind of having to deal with nightmares. She's flown onto a military vessel with a group of individuals who don't seem to want to acknowledge or know her. And Weaver just, like, there's so many good scenes. I mean, the bit where the Marines are joking around and Vasquez says, "I only need to know one thing, where they are," and Ripley's like, I hope it's that easy. I really fucking do. Weaver just sells it. She sells this kind of this person who's been through the ringer. I mean, like, when she goes into the tirade about, like, yeah, only one of those things destroyed my entire crew in 24 hours, and God knows how many colonists have been exposed. She's a fucking powerhouse in that movie, and she deserved that Oscar. She got an Oscar nomination for that movie, and by fuck, she deserved it. So yeah, Aliens, I think, had her best performance. Question 3, favorite xenomorph design. You're probably going to find a lot of my answers may equate towards Alien 3 because I adore Alien 3. I'm going to be going into a soapbox about it later in one of the questions, but I'm definitely going to have to go with the Runner. I love the big chap design. That's cool. Again, nothing can top Yeager's original design with the transparent dome, and when you first see it, you don't know what the fuck it is, or what shape it is, or how many arms it has. And then you had the ridged warrior design in Cameron's Aliens, which I thought was cool as well, but a bit too clunky. I think with the Runner, they found the middle ground, and they also incorporated the design beat from the storyline, because in either version, the Runner comes from a quadrupedal creature, so it prefers a quadrupedal stance. So it's more, instead of just being a large kind of humanoid creature, it is a quadrupedal kind of killing machine. It's like a cheetah or a jaguar. It's just fast and vicious, and I love the fact they even they remove the tribal spurs. It's just so streamlined and so vicious, and like, again, the scene, I know it's not attributed to design, but the scenes where we get to see the POV of the aliens hunting the prisoners through the leadworks, and where it's on the ceiling and it's just fucking darting back and forth. I know a lot of people didn't like the go motion. A lot of people say it was shit CG. It wasn't CG. It wasn't stop motion. It was go motion, where it was a puppet behind a blue screen. But yeah, that design, to me, the Runner, it encompasses, it removes the clunkiness, but makes it more animalistic. I think the big chap, again, love the design. To me, there are some scenes where it looks very clunky, it looks very cumbersome, and the warrior aliens, when they're bounding from left to right on the hive walls, they're animalistic. I think the Runner in 3 encapsulates both, and the design does a fantastic job making it look both animalistic but also very sleek. So yeah, the Runner in Alien 3. Sorry, soapbox. Question 4. Alien or Aliens? I'm going to have to go with 1979's Alien, because it was such a groundbreaking movie. The concept of the used future, like, it paved the way for a lot of kind of sci-fi movies we have, from Event Horizon to District 9. None of those movies would have their aesthetic if it wasn't for Aliens. The concept of the used future. This spaceship wasn't manned by kind of scientists or special kind of operatives or engineers. These were civilians. These were blue-collar workers, truck drivers in space. Like, the design of the Nostromo, sadly, the late Ron Cobb, who passed away, he done a fantastic job making a spacefaring vessel, but it ended up looking like a World War II submarine. Everything, the aesthetic, the characters, the alien environment, Geiger done a fantastic job. As I said before, the big chap, fantastic creature. If ever we were to think about something, obviously we know what it looks like now, but if you were to present, maybe in the 60s, if you were to present someone with an image of the xenomorph, that would be Alien. That would be the most far removed thing from anyone's imagination. So yeah, for me, Alien 1979 ticks all the boxes. I adore Aliens. The Vietnam War analogy, the kind of the hive structure, a lot of the lore, the expanded lore we have is thanks to Aliens. But I don't think, obviously, we wouldn't have Aliens if it wasn't for Alien. So I'm going to have to go with Alien because it was so fucking groundbreaking and is such a kind of a trailblazing movie. Question 5. My thoughts on Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting one. I think Alien 3 gets far too much fucking shtick than it deserves. There's a fantastic movie in there. David Fincher did his best. He was literally, he had no solid script. He was getting a script on a day-by-day basis. They were getting new sheets and stuff was added and stuff was cut out. And like, again, there was fucking 15, if not 20 drafts of Alien 3. And the fact we got the movie we did, I think was fantastic. People find it boring. I don't. Again, like, the first Alien, you could equate it to the first Alien. That was not a kind of edge of your seat action. That was a slow burner. And I think maybe by 92, people had kind of gotten used to the kind of James Cameron rip-roaring ride and were expecting something in that vein. But instead we got an Umberto Eco-like movie with kind of religious connotations, and Ripley in a Christ, messianic kind of Christ kind of figure in the movie. And it's just everything, the design of the alien, the design of the prison, the actors, Charles Dance, Charles S. Dutton, John Glover, all fantastic fucking actors. That movie really shouldn't get the lambasting it gets. It is a fantastic addition. And again, as hard as I had to answer the last kind of question about which was my favorite, Alien or Aliens, sometimes I find Alien 3 surpassing the two. Not a popular opinion, but I genuinely have such a love and respect for that movie, and the fact it got made, and the fact it looks as gorgeous as it does is a testament. So yeah, I definitely I can't see Alien 3 praises any higher. Alien Resurrection. There was a time, hell, I've an early review where I like tore the shit out of it. And has time kind of been better to Resurrection? It still is a movie riddled. I mean riddled with flaws, because you're essentially basically cooking a character up who was dead and kind of trying to change it. And again, Sigourney Weaver's performance was fantastic. The material she was given, not so much. Keep in mind also, this was you had two major fucking things with this movie. One, it was Jean-Pierre Genie's first kind of American film, and the man hadn't a lick of English. And also I think it was Joss Whedon's first big studio script. So you had two very kind of novice individuals, novice kind of director and writer, working with a studio with one of their kind of flagship franchises. So what you got was a very messy movie. There are some great performances. Ron Perlman's Johnner is cool, and I took the piss out of Winona Ryder, her character Call, but you know what, she wasn't that terrible. I think she done the best she could with the material she had. I think it's just a case of the elements, it was taken out of the oven before it was done. I certainly can see what Whedon was going with his script, because he wanted to do something along the lines of a kind of Paul Verhoeven kind of action sci-fi movie where there's bits of comedy, bits of silly comedy, like RoboCop or like Total Recall, with like, the three-breasted fucking prostitute, or the some of the gags in RoboCop with like the adverts and stuff. They wanted a very silly kind of tongue-in-cheek sci-fi horror kind of thing, and I don't think the Alien franchise was right for that. So yeah, Resurrection, um, definitely the weakest of the original bunch of movies. Um, I don't know if I can defend it as well as I can Alien 3. Again, Alien 3, fantastic movie, but Resurrection has just too many fucking flaws to look on. And question number 6, thoughts on Prometheus and Alien Covenant. Okay, here we go, another soapbox. Prometheus. The video is running a bit long, so I'm going to try and cut through this. Prometheus for me was a good idea, but what made Ridley Scott's Alien so good was he was making it on a very shoestring budget. The studio didn't. He was a nobody to the studio, so he didn't puff his chest or kind of try and push the boundaries. He played it safe, but but that said, he played it safe, but he also kind of done some interesting things, but he didn't go overboard, and the lack of a budget made him work that bit harder to make things nice. Whereas Prometheus, it just it had two problems. One, Scott kind of had the budget now, and he had no one. It was the Emperor's New Clothes. He had no one telling him to kind of fucking rein himself back. And the other thing was, a movie started out as an Alien prequel, then wanted to be something else, then went back to an Alien prequel. Then Damien Lindelof got involved and tried incorporating the kind of new story onto the prequel. As a result, we got a Frankenstein's fucking mess of a movie. Alien Covenant. Christ, Alien Covenant, I was really hoping would be good. There are certain elements in it I enjoy, but I think it basically pulled the arse out of the alien mythology, because, as I said in my review, the revelation about David shows that the alien isn't an alien. It's a creation of a man-made creation. So it loses the luster. Again, it's maybe I could equate it to the Rob Zombie Halloween, where that movie was lackluster because we didn't need to know where Michael Myers came from or why he did the things he did. When you pull up the cloak, when you remove the air of mystery, then that entirely sabotages it. So Prometheus was a good attempt, and Covenant sabotaged the franchise. That's all I gotta say. Question number 7. What would you like to see in the next Alien film? Christ. I do. You could do a prequel. I think a TV series might work. If I was going to suggest something, drop the films. Stop doing the films. Maybe do an 8-part miniseries and have it set on the colony on LV-426, and show the events between when Newt's father's infected to before Ripley and the Marines arrive. Show the fall of the colony. Do a kind of Rogue One job, and show in the format of a miniseries, a TV miniseries, how that fucking colony fell. I think that would be really interesting. See, the thing is, I could surmise loads of other plots, but they've all been done fantastically in the medium of comics and video games. But the one thing I would definitely like to see would be the fall of Hardley's Hope. I think that would be an interesting way to go, and I think it would be fantastic if it was a mini-series on television. So yeah, that's what I do. Question 8. Favorite action scene in the franchise? Probably the evacuation or the retreat from the hive in Aliens, where they end up torching a colonist, and then all the xenomorphs come out of the walls, and Drake and Vasquez just go apeshit with the smart guns, and it's just there's so much fucking going on there. But you can tell, you can almost put yourself in the scene with Ripley in the APC watching the screens and watching the Marines fucking life signs drop, and like the helmet cams fucking flashing and stuff. That's been emulated in so many movies, and there's a reason why. It kicks ass. Hell, they done it in Jurassic World, where the Mizrahi soldiers are being killed by the raptors. That scene, to me, it's not big or bombastic. Well, at the start it's not big or bombastic, but there's so many cool things. You have Vasquez and Drake fucking clearing the way for the Marines, and Drake gets doused with the fucking acid, and then you have the xenomorph warrior coming through the doors of the APC, and Hicks fucking clocks it with the shotgun. Eat this, I love that line. And then Ripley just fucking gunning down out of the hive in the APC. I love that. That's just, it's so atmospheric, and the score, James Horner's score with that, the kind of dum dum, the drum beat that just fucking makes that scene. So that entire sequence is my favorite action scene in the franchise. I'm losing my voice if you haven't noticed. Number 9 favorite death in the franchise. Toss up, but I'm going to go with Brett, because it's the okay. Sure, you could say that Kane is the first character to die, but the first death at the hands of fully grown xenomorph is to Parker, where he looks for Jones, and that scene is just fucking brilliant. He sees the cat, he calls the cat comes towards him, something drops down from behind that we can't see. We can't see it unless you have the extended edition. Then you can see the fucking thing, and then like Jesus over Brett. But the cat just fucking backs away, and Brett's like, what the fuck? And he turns, and he's just frozen in fucking terror. We know he's dead. The cat knows he's dead. I'm fairly sure Brett knows he's fucking dead. But that scene, just the atmosphere and how tense that scene builds is fantastic. Little fun fact: they got Jones the cat to back away because they had I think it was a Doberman behind a piece of Perspex to make him react the way he did. So yeah, Brett's death in Alien. That's my favorite death scene. Number 10, question number 10. Favorite character in the franchise bar Ripley has to be Corporal Hicks. Michael Biehn. Love the fucking character. I love Michael Bihn's performance. You have these Marines who are all like fucking gun-ho and gusto. And then you've Hicks, who's like so fucking cool and so fucking chill. Like he's fallen asleep in the drop ship, and he's also so fucking, there's humanity to him as well. He's like, when Newt's messing with the weapons on the counter, he like takes the grenade. He doesn't shout at her or give out. I think the other Marines would. He's like, no, don't touch that, dangerous, honey. He's not like gruff or anything. And there's this lovely chemistry between Hicks and Ripley, and it kind of got continued in the comics. If you guys get a chance, watch or read the original run of the Dark Horse comics. It shows what could have happened with Hicks after the comics ignore Alien 3. But yeah, Michael Bihn's performance is great. I'm kind of, again, unpopular opinion, as bad as Colonial Marines was, I'm kind of glad they brought him back in the game. That's all I'm going to say. Question 11. Do you enjoy the AVP movies? I enjoy 80% of AVP, because they take so many nods to the original Dark Horse comics, with like the predators breeding aliens and the scarification and stuff like that. And I also enjoy about 20 to 25% of AVP or AVP Requiem, because it has like the wolf, the design of the wolf predator is cool. I like the fact that they kind of slimmed down from the fucking rugby player, fucking the kind of American football player quarterback predators they had in the first one. and the Pred Alien. I think those movies would have been good if you took elements out of the first one and the second one and put them together. I think there was just like the first one was very bloodless. It didn't really feel like an Alien franchise. It felt more like something fucking Indiana Jones and the Temple of fucking Xenomorphs. And the other one was too bloody but had very fucking bad characters and shit. So yeah, I enjoy elements. That's my quick answer. Question 12. What is the scariest scene in the franchise? Hands fucking down. Put the shit up me every fucking time. Has to be where Dallas goes into the vents. Because that scene, that is a masterclass on how to build tension. Where like you have the characters with the motion sensor and he's in the fucking dark and he's like fucking clambered up in the vents, and he's like he just, oh fuck this, I'm gonna get out of here, and he makes one wrong move. And he climbs down a ladder, and it's just like there, just fucking comes out. He's fucked, he's dead. And just the scene even after where Parker's like, no blood, no Dallas, and just fucks the flamethrower. It's just, what, like, how the fuck did it get him out of that vent? And like, this is so fucking creepy, and just the build up, and just where it just comes out of nowhere. So yeah, the scene where Dallas is taken out in events. Question 13. What's the worst movie in the franchise? There is a couple, because I am a fan. I will kind of like defend the movies, but I will also admit there's more than one. AVPR definitely, but AVPR, at least there's certain things that feel earned. With Alien Covenant, there's just, it's a toss-up between, basically my answer would depend on who do you think are dumber, the characters in AVPR or the characters in fucking Alien Covenant. I'll say AVPR, because there was elements in it I liked, but it felt like fucking bunch of aliens and predators had fucking invaded Dawson's Creek. So yeah, that is Sean Patrick Erschens Facehugger Alien franchise tag. The people I'm going to tag are Anthropomantic Fiend, Dave Maggot, Queenie Todd, the Always Awesome Munster Deacon, and Mark's Monsters and Madmen. Oh, and the Soulless Trenchcoat. So yeah, that is an awesome tag. I'm so fucking glad I've done it. If you get a chance, check out Sean's channel. He is a fucking awesome legend of a guy. And yeah, have a good one. Take care. Bye now.